Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Total world victory of Hare Krishna. My name is Sitapati Das. This is Dana Devi.
Krishna.
And this is Bhagavad-gita 2:18. Bhagavad-gita As It Is. Bhagavad-gita, the Song of God, Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, Text 18. Let's go. Antavanta dehā, nityasyoktāḥ śarīriṇaḥ, anāśino prameyasya, tasmād yudhyasva bhārata, antavantaḥ,
Perishable.
All
this.
Dehā,
Material bodies.
Nityasya,
Eternal in existence.
uktāḥ,
It is so said.
śarīriṇaḥ,
The embodied souls,
anāśinaḥ,
never to be destroyed.
aprameyasya,
Immeasurable.
tasmāt,
Therefore,
yudhyasva,
fight,
Bharata.
O descendant of Bharata.
Translation. Would you like to read this?
I will do it.
Go for it.
Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. You want to do this one too? Let's do half each.
Yeah. The material body is perishable by nature. It may perish immediately, or it may do so after 100 years. It is a question of time only. There is no chance of maintaining it indefinitely. But the spirit soul is so minute that it cannot even be seen by an enemy, to say nothing of being killed. As mentioned in the previous verse, it is so small that no one can have any idea how to measure it, its dimension.
So from both viewpoints, there is no cause of lamentation, because the living entity can neither be killed as he is, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time, be permanently protected. The minute particle of the whole spirit acquires this material body according to his work, and therefore observance of religious principles should be utilized. In the Vedānta-sūtras, the living entity is qualified as light, because he is part and parcel of the supreme light. As sunlight maintains the entire universe, so the light of the soul maintains this material body. As soon as the spirit soul is out of this material body, the body begins to decompose. Therefore, it is the spirit soul which maintains this body. The body itself is unimportant. Arjuna was advised to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion. The verse again. Antavanta dehā, nityasyoktāḥ śarīriṇaḥ, anāśino prameyasya, tasmād yudhyasva bhārata. Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Om jnana-timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Let's have a look at the changes. We're going to a kirtan and potluck dinner this evening. So we're going to blaze through the class today, but we're going to attend to everything there is to attend to. So between the first and the second edition, let's have a look first at the word for word. Antavanta got a hyphen in it. Are said, uktāḥ, it is so said, got changed, of the embodied soul. Okay. No notes on why it was done. Let's have a look at so we went from only the material body of the indestructible to the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity. And it went from is subject to destruction to is sure to come to an end. Interesting. Let's have a look. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living subject is subject to be ended. Sure to come to an end is subject to destruction. Okay. These changes are unauthorized. The author has not authorized general changes or this specific change. Having said that, the claim made by the editors is that it's taken it closer to Prabhupada.
Right.
I mean, looking at this here and logically analyzing it, it does look like it takes it closer to that manuscript, but that doesn't necessarily mean it takes it closer to Prabhupada. If I have my demo tape and then I have an album that I made with the producer, taking my album back to the demo doesn't mean that, you know, you took it closer to what I wanted. You just took it closer to my demo. But this does look like it goes closer to the demo because it says the material body is subject to destruction. But that could mean that, you know, other than that, it's going to go on forever. But it's not. It's sure to come to an end. Yeah. One way or another. You can't save the material body. And Srila Prabhupada makes that point in here. He says, you know, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time, be permanently protected. So that kind of takes it closer. But this is the version that Prabhupada authorized. So
I will go with something that he authorized.
Yeah. So from both viewpoints, there's no cause for lamentation, comma, yeah, okay, because the living entity can neither be killed as he is, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time, be permanently protected, has gone to, because the living entity as he is cannot be killed, nor can the material body be saved for any length of time or permanently protected. Why? Okay. Parallel structure. Because neither can the living entity as he is be killed, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time, be permanently protected. I mean, I can understand that personally. Let's have a look at what was written here. Because neither the cannot be killed. Neither can the living entity as he is be killed. Save for because neither the living entity as he is cannot be killed. Because neither the living cannot be killed. Okay, so you want to say something?
Go ahead.
What's quoted, cited in here? Oh, what happened to the screen? Oh, when did that happen?
Just now, when you were turning around.
Yeah, good. Let's try it again. Now you're looking at a picture of me wearing my wizard's robes in Norway. We're back. Okay. What I'm looking at here is this. What's quoted or cited in this PDF as the original manuscript is the content of this manuscript without these marked up changes. So you see how someone has written in these editorial changes here? Because neither can, because the living entity can neither be killed as he is. So this manuscript that we're looking at here, this may be Prabhupada's manuscript, and then with the editorial markings of Hayagriva.
Could be.
Right? Hypothesis. This one here claims to be, and as far as we know it is, the Macmillan 72 edition with the editorial markup of Jayadvaita Swami. But in the notes here, where Jayadvaita Swami, how strange. Look at this. You can see the note there, but we can't see it on our screen. Anyway,
Yeah.
J. Swami, see what he cited as the original manuscript there? It's Prabhupada's manuscript without the changes that Hayagriva made by hand. So either he's doing it on another manuscript that doesn't have this markup on it, or he's just like, oh, we're going to ignore that markup because that's not Prabhupada's original manuscript.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe those ones are photocopied and then he's using the original photocopy.
Yeah, and this
And
markup.
he's just marking up and he's presenting it, there's as what's his name? The first gentleman that changed.
Hayagriva?
Yeah, he said, oh, Hayagriva this one, but it doesn't make sense now. I'm going to change it. So it can be double standard playing,
Yeah, it is.
It creates a lot of doubt about all of this.
Well, yeah, the claim is taking it closer to Prabhupada, but someone said, what you're doing is you're de-Hayagrivaizing. He's undoing everything that Hayagriva did. It's like taking the album, undoing everything that the producer did, go back to the original demo. It's a remix. It's a remix of the thing. Yeah. These changes here is like, yeah, he's just redoing it, re-editing it. Unauthorized re-edit. Yeah. Arjuna was advised to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion. Arjuna was advised to fight and not sacrifice the cause of religion for material bodily considerations. Well, that's completely different. Let's have a look. Arjuna was advised to fight without consideration of the material body and sacrificing the cause of religiosity. Wow.
And sacrificing the cause of religiosity.
Body is therefore unimportant, and Arjuna was advised to fight without consideration of the material body and sacrificing the cause of religiosity.
It makes sense to me.
What do you get from that? This is the original without Hayagriva's markup in it.
Yeah, Arjuna was advised to fight without considerations of the material body, like Vedana, go and fight. Don't consider about this body.
Yep.
And sacrificing the cause of religiosity. So what is the cause of religiosity? Duty, following, following your duties, doing dharma. Don't sacrifice that, Just fight. By not doing so, by not fighting, you're sacrificing the cause of religiosity. That's what I understand.
Yeah, I'm just comparing them. Sacrifice. Yeah, so the interpretation that you gave it matches the second edition. Advice to fight, yep, and not so to sacrifice the body and not sacrifice the cause of religion. Yeah, so that was what you said. You're not like, oh, I'm going to sacrifice religious cause here. Whereas Hayagriva's rendition is that Arjuna was advised to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion.
He's savage.
Savage, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Which is basically, it was basically saying, Srila Prabhupada, like, it's unimportant. Don't sacrifice your duties and the cause of religion,
Yeah.
Go and fight.
Yeah. I mean,
and he just went straight to the point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Arjuna never argues in this case, in his whole argument, he never argued that I don't want to fight because I don't want to die. He never said that. He even said, look, it's better for me to just die straight up.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I should just suicide myself, let them kill me on the battlefield.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight because he didn't want the others to die. So, well, I guess advice to fight and sacrifice the material body. I mean, it doesn't just mean his, right? It means the other material bodies.
Arjuna was about to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion. Yeah, they can evolve.
Okay, let's have a look. Any other changes there? Advice to fight without consideration of the material body and sacrificing. See, Hayagriva is out of this, and sacrificing it to the cause of religiosity. Sacrificing, because this is like advice to fight without consideration of the material body, and without sacrificing the cause of religiosity, which is how you interpreted it, right? The and is two different things that he's advised to fight without, a list. But Hayagriva's pars it as Arjuna was advised to fight without consideration of the material body and sacrificing it to the cause of religion, altar of sacrifice. But Prabhupada signed off on that. Or did he say, change it back? So many changes have been made in here that obviously Prabhupada never authorized, that the ones that I don't think Prabhupada would have said, hey, this was completely wrong. Well, let's do this. Let's
I think the original typing of Srila Prabhupada, because he was absolutely absorbed when he was doing all of the writing. If we are absolutely absorbed in reading his writing, we can actually get the point what he's saying, because he is giving the essence. We just need to channel in the way he was, the moment, the time, and the experience, and the nectar he was feeling, when he was writing those.
Somehow there's a way to look up by the verses. Bhagavad-gita 2:18, so I'll just do this, 2:18. Get rid of the transcripts, search. I just want to see if Srila Prabhupada gave a class on it, and then, okay, this is the Bhagavad-gita itself. Yeah, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. I wanted to look it up. Anyway, a point about this, let's go to the verse, because we've got to go to the kirtan. I will look this up and I'll post something about it later. Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. This is from the Sitapati Samhita. Whatever can be measured can be destroyed. See, indestructible, immeasurable. That which can be measured can be destroyed. Maya. Maya means, among other things, it can mean that which is not, but it can also mean measure. Maya. So that whatever you can measure it, you can destroy it. Only the immeasurable is indestructible.
Yeah.
Because anything that's measurable has a beginning and an end.
Totally.
Destructible. So whatever can be measured can be destroyed. To this point, you tell people like, oh, you're not the body, and then kill yourself then to prove it. If you really believe that you're not the body, why why are you attached to the material body then? Just kill yourself to prove it, or cut your arm off. Like that would prove that wouldn't prove that you're not the body, but it would prove that you really, believe that you're not the body.
But then they're not saying, go and kill yourself.
Well, I mean, Krishna actually is.
Yeah, but we cannot take in that like irresponsible. Well, this says like, and I'm going to kill it. We're going to go through later on to the more to Bhagavad-gita to understand the whole speaking of Krishna. Your body has to be looked after. It has a service in this lifetime, and we must look after it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot topic. I mean, nobody wants to give a Bhagavad-gita class, right? Where you say, oh, your body has a service in this lifetime, and then they say, and sometimes that service is to kill other people. That's like, people immediately want to argue against that, or they have a concern about that, even though that's literally what Bhagavad-gita itself is about, the religious application of violence. That's scary for people today.
Yeah, but there is a place and time to do it, It's instructions to do that, not just like nilly-willy, I'm going to go and then, decapitate myself or anything like that. It just because Krishna himself has given us this body, whatever body, you are. We have to look after it, take care of it. And then, but you must be aware that you are the soul, you're indestructible, you're immeasurable, you're eternal. And what do you do with this? We have to have the knowledge of who we really are in this body, and what is our purpose in this life, and how can we use, in medicine, we use, we can cut a person. That doesn't mean I'm a criminal. I'm cutting a person because we need to do surgery and there is an emergency. We have to do all of that. There is a reason why we're doing that. So it's the same with the scriptures. There is a reason why we're doing this, and we have the instructions to do it. But in this within this structure. We can't go beyond that. We have to be extremely aware of that, and when and how to use also violence within the religious groups, not just like go like fanatical, like crazy and without thinking and rational or anything like that. Some people can understand it like that. Oh, I'm gonna go and kill myself or kill someone because we know the body and so on. So like, wait a minute, there's a lot more to this instructions, to this knowledge. Yeah, and so we have to be extremely careful how we read it and how we interpreting ourselves. Okay.
Yeah. Así es la cosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, muy bien. Yeah, therefore the observance of religious principles should be utilized.
Should be utilized. It can be utilized, should be utilized, so like must be done.
Yeah. I mean, this is radical though, like the idea that there's no cause of lamentation because the living entity can neither be killed as he is, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time,
Someone is choking.
be permanently protected.
All right.
Okay. Yes, Fenella says, yes, I almost closed the book after the first chapter, the first time I read it. I found it quite off-putting. Your explanation in your talk a few weeks back really helped. Well, thank you so much for the feedback, Fenella, and you're welcome. Yeah, I'm glad that made a difference for you. I'm not sure which explanation or which part of the book you found off-putting, but that's great. Yeah, if you wanted to share that, that'd be awesome. I'd love to know what it was that I said that made the difference so that I can double down on it in the future.
Yeah, and stay tuned. And we're going to go through Bhagavad-gita. There are many chapters there, and we're going to understand exactly the whole speaking. And
every single day. And tomorrow we will be back at 10 a.m. New Zealand time for a Conspiracy Megamix episode. We have Dhaneshwara Prabhu, Dhaneshwara Das. He's the author of Divine or Demoniac, How Spiritual Movements Get Infiltrated, Spiritual Movements and the Enemies Within, I think it's called. Prahlad, could you grab that book there, please, next to the bed, the bedside there. So he's the author of two books. This is the one that kind of we'll be discussing tomorrow, Divine or Demoniac. Spiritual Movements and the Enemies Within. We're not so much focused on the spiritual movements, enemies within aspect tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Vedic worldview, the divine and demoniac nature, and what looking through that lens at the last 3 years reveals to us about the COVID pandemic, the Great Reset, the whole thing. The other book that he's written is Lessons in Spiritual Economics from the Bhagavad-gita. So we'll be touching on that, understanding and solving the economic problem. We'll be touching on that tomorrow as well. So we're going to have Dhaneshwara Prabhu. We're going to have Paul Seals, who's speaking today at the We Are Ready Global event in Brisbane. His talk there is about central bank digital currencies, so that'll factor into the conversation. Chris Briscoe, Crisco, as Isha calls him, from the UK, and Bhadarayana Prabhu from the United States, Srila Prabhupada, another Srila Prabhupada disciple. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Don't miss it. It's going to be wild, off the chain, illuminating, controversial, and paradigm shifting for the world. Anything else that you want to say to close?
No.
Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.